Hey there, and welcome to the weekly Asylum and Immigration Reform Update, where I share with you 5 recent stories of interest to asylum seekers and those who want to stay current on immigration news. This week, we're discussing
Texas SB 4 faces backlash for potential harm to the community and economy. Businesses urge Congress to shorten asylum seekers' work permit wait. CBP is criticized for separating families, sparking concerns over child welfare. The U.S. government seeks dismissal of a lawsuit over CBP One app's border use. A Texas lawsuit challenges migrant detention practices under Operation Lone Star.
I'm Brian Manning, and I used to be an asylum officer with the government, but now, as an asylum lawyer, I help immigrants all over the country to secure their future in America through asylum. It's my pleasure to bring you asylum and immigration reform updates each week right here on the Political Asylum Lawyers YouTube channel. Okay, let's get to the news. First up,
Texas braces for impact. Senate Bill 4 stirs controversy and concern. Sheriff Richard Wiles of El Paso County raises alarm over Senate Bill 4, a new Texas legislation criminalizing illegal entry from Mexico, warning it could damage community policing, burden taxpayers, and overcrowd local jails. As Governor Greg Abbott prepares to sign the bill, criticized for potentially inciting racial profiling and feeding anti-immigrant sentiment, concerns mount about its wider implications. SB 4's harsh penalties, ranging from misdemeanors to felonies, reflect growing frustration over federal inaction on immigration reform. Texas Democrats vehemently oppose SB 4 and its companion bill, Senate Bill 3, condemning them as harmful to Texas-Mexico relations and local businesses, and calling for federal intervention against these extreme measures. Many observers believe the law will be struck down by the courts as unconstitutional.
And next up, for update number 2.
Over 100 business organizations are urgently appealing to Congress to reduce the work permit waiting period for asylum seekers from 180 to 30 days. With 9.6 million job vacancies and only 6.5 million job seekers, industries like manufacturing, transportation, and hospitality are critically understaffed. This initiative, supported by groups like the Refugee Advocacy Lab, proposes additional funding for USCIS to expedite permit processing. Key advocates stress that enabling asylum seekers to enter the workforce sooner is a vital, yet overlooked solution to the labor shortage. They urge immediate legislative action to harness this untapped workforce potential, arguing it's essential for economic growth and business sustainability. This bipartisan issue highlights a pragmatic approach to both supporting asylum seekers and addressing the national labor crisis, emphasizing efficiency over politics in solving 2 significant challenges simultaneously.
All right, time for our third immigration update.
U.S. Customs and Border Protection is under fire for separating migrant families. A report reveals that CBP is still separating migrant families with children aged 13 and older at Texas detention centers, despite ongoing efforts to comply with a 2022 settlement mandating proper care of non-citizen children in federal custody. A court-appointed monitor expressed serious concerns about the psychological impact on minors, emphasizing the need for direct parental contact to prevent long-term trauma. This report, presented to a federal court in California, is part of a long-standing oversight effort stemming from the historic Flores settlement, which aims to improve adherence by the government to established care standards for minors. Recent inspections uncovered overcrowded facilities, particularly in El Paso, where detainee numbers exceeded maximum capacity, compromising child welfare. The Biden administration has faced criticism for family separations.
And moving right along, update number 4.
The Biden administration clashes with nonprofits in border app dispute. The U.S. government seeks to dismiss a lawsuit by nonprofits and asylum seekers challenging the use of the CBP One app for border appointments. The plaintiffs, turned away at the U.S.-Mexico border for not using the app, argue this practice violates constitutional and international law and CBP's own guidelines. They contend the app requirement is discriminatory as many migrants lack the technology or literacy to use it. The government asserts the case is moot as the plaintiffs have already been processed and there's no risk of repeated injury. The government also questions the standing of the nonprofits bringing the suit, arguing they haven't suffered direct harm. This legal battle unfolds amid broader debates on immigration policy and technology's role in border management.
And finally, our 5th immigration update for this week.
Migrant detention drama unfolds in federal court in Texas. In a heated legal battle, a Texas company fiercely challenges allegations by Mexican migrants, urging a federal court to dismiss their lawsuit claiming unlawful prolonged detention. The migrants, arrested under Texas's Operation Lone Star, accuse the company, which is a private detentions contractor, of detaining them beyond their sentences or after charges were dropped. The migrants, represented by the ACLU and other legal groups, allege that a catch-and-jail scheme violated their rights, causing physical and emotional harm. They claim detentions range from 13 to 42 days beyond their legal release dates. Civil rights groups and Democratic lawmakers have criticized Operation Lone Star for due process and discrimination issues. The case has implications in the controversy over migrant rights and corporate responsibility in detention operations.
And that wraps up this week's immigration news. If you want to win asylum in the United States, then you should call my office today. That number is 713-352-1593. And we help people all over the country, so it doesn't matter where you are. Call us now to schedule an asylum strategy session so that we can help you secure your future in America through asylum. Again, I'm Brian Manning, and it's an honor to serve you in your immigration journey.